Good morning, Millville Public Schools. This is Steve Saul, principal at Holly Heights. Welcome to Digital Learning Day. I want to thank Alicia and Lauren for setting this up for us. And I just have a brief presentation for you today. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that we're doing with regards to social and emotional learning and team building. I want to kind of kick things off with talking about our fourth grade houses and our wonderful fourth grade team of teachers. Of Marcia DeFelice, Sarah Freiling, Maria Vi, and Laura Kane came up with this concept. And I want to kind of take you through the process that they developed to kind of initiate the fourth grade houses. And the fourth grade houses are kind of inspired by the Ron Clark Academy. The whole entire house system was something that was through the Ron Clark Academy, which is a school located in Atlanta, Georgia. Through the Ron Clark Academy, they developed rules that are called the Essential 50. Our fourth grade team modified that to chose a group of 22 that they went over with the students, and they hung that in the hallway, which I'll show you in a little bit on one of our slides, which is hung down our fourth grade wing. The way Holly Heights is set up, all four of our fourth grade team is down in the same wing. So when you go down there, it's evident what they're doing with their house program. Each of the houses represents a specific character trait. So you'll see it's color coordinated. The pink team is based on integrity. The blue team is based on courage. The green team is based on strength. And the yellow team is based on respect. Each teacher is a house leader for one of the four houses. And the four houses are not specific to that teacher's homeroom. The fourth grade is mixed up, so you have representatives from each of the class in each of the different teams. The way that they began it was when they began the program, we have a AVA room, and they had a great big celebration down in the AVA room. All students were sorted into houses, and they did it very similar to like a Harry Potter sorting, what they did in the AVA room, and made it a grade level celebration. They made the celebration a big deal, tried to get the kids extremely excited about dressing in the specific colors. They had pre-made Google slide presentation in which the students thought that they were being randomly selected by the computer reading out which house they were being matched with. Through that celebration, I had the opportunity to observe that. There was, one of the teachers, Mrs. DeFelice, was pounding on the drum. The kids were real excited. And then Mrs. Kane would pull it up on the slide, and there would be a loud cheer and a roar, and then they would go over with their correct house. So they made it a really fun activity for that, and I think it gives the fourth grade teachers an opportunity to also obviously get to know other kids that are in other classes. And our fourth grade team works extremely well together, so they do a lot of joint things, science fairs as well as other things. After being sorted, each student brought in a plain white t-shirt, and they tied them to a specific house color. How it works as far as point wise and what the purpose of it is after being sorted, each team, they have a monthly upkeep. All the students, this is all coordinated through Dojo. All the students are in Dojo, and their shield is next to their name. They spoke to them in depth about how the behavior affects the entire house. When they earn points, their team earns points as well. If they aren't earning points, this affects their house team as well. What they do is at the end of each month, they tally the points and record them on an ongoing spreadsheet. The house that earned the most points is announced at our monthly school meetings. We have, on a monthly basis, we call them Hawk Pride assemblies. I know each of the elementary schools have different things that they do with regard to PBIS and with incentives. Ours is Hawkeyes, and and our theme is Hawk Pride. We do the Hawk Pride pledge every morning, and we do once a month. We do Hawk Pride assemblies where we recognize our citizens of the month, our student council, as well as a lot of other things. And we've also tied in the fourth grade houses and announcing which color house was the winner for that specific month. So that's announced at the end of that. Each winning house that participates in the monthly celebration with their house leader. Some examples, in October, it was a pizza party. November, they made gingerbread houses. December and January, they competed in dodgeball and had free gym time. They also are doing team building activities throughout the year. In October, I got a chance to also go in and witness this. They went into the ABA room and they did a fear factor in which the kids got to answer different math and language arts questions in order to have a team member compete in a specific fear factor challenge. In December, they did reindeer games in which the houses competed in minute-to-win-it games. All students were able to compete in at least one game. In March, they have an idea that they're working through with the high school with the basketball coaches. They want to do something involving March Madness and have a kickoff event in March to get the kids excited. Each week, the houses will compete against each other with a specific behavior goal in mind. The first week, the blue and pink houses will compete, and then the yellow and the green houses will compete, and the focus of that competition will be respect. They will earn extra points for their house that month. They're also going to continue this for the entire month, and on top of that, there'll be a monthly house winner, which will be announced and will be the March Madness winner. I'm just going to show you a few of the slides that they shared with me. Let's see here. All right, here we go. So when you go down the fourth grade hallway, they each created kind of their own little bit emoji or character avatar, if you will. So when the kids are walking down the hallway, that's one of the first things that they're going to see. And there's three of our teachers. There's Mrs. DeFelice, Mrs. Freiling, and Mrs. Vi. But each of them have their own. And again, each of them, it's matched up with a specific color. There's another little shot of their bit emojis. And then, as I said before, we took it. The Ron Clark Academy had 50 specifics. Our teachers broke it down to 22, and all 22 are posted. And this is on the wall opposite of where the characters are for the kids to see. This is in our ABA room, and again, this group right here would be representative of all four of the different rooms. This is not just Mrs. Vi's class, but this would be kids that were selected under the Pink Shield of Integrity. And then that kind of leads me into the next piece, which is another thing that we are doing as far as social and emotional learning. And what you see displayed there is the New Jersey competencies for social and emotional learning. Mrs. Tiska and our PBIS team have worked extremely diligently on this, and I have to give them complete credit for this, as this was their idea. They really wanted to develop a room where they could work and teach specific social emotional learning things. And again, the competencies are kind of listed there, but the 5 areas are self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, responsible decision-making, and relationship skills. And when we were working cooperatively with the RAC, and we had some funds and some resources that were available, our PBIS team kind of tied in the idea of teaching social emotional learning and getting some resources into one of our vacant classrooms that we had at the time. And we have 2 rooms. We have one that's dedicated for kindergarten through 2nd, and we have one that's dedicated 3rd through 5th grade. And in both of those rooms, there are activities that promote cooperative play. And able to teach. If you go through and you look through the different categories and the different subcategories, they're able to teach those specific skills. There is a orientation the first time that each of the groups goes in there. Mrs. Tiska does an orientation with a class, and then after that, the classes go in there on a regular rotating schedule. And the activities that are selected for each of the rooms are age level and grade level appropriate, and then different activities and different things are kind of mixed in there into both of those rooms. Again, to promote some of the things that we know that children need assistance with: conflict resolution, competition, breathing exercises, and mindfulness activities to try to promote those different things. There's not technology in there. We know kids get a lot of screen time at home. They get a lot of screen time in their classes. So these are more activities that are designed. For example, in the K-2 social emotional room, one of the things that's in there is a little makeshift tent, and it has like a little fake camping stove and different things in there. Again, and kids learn to share. Kids learn that they're not always going to get on the specific activity that they want. And they're also going to, in some cases, especially in the 3rd through 5th one, some of the games are a little bit more competitive games, but recognizing and being able to handle sportsmanship issues and competition, and being able to kind of handle the different conflict resolution. What I would encourage anyone, if they are interested in coming out and either seeing the social emotional learning rooms that we have or hearing more about that, would be to reach out to Mrs. Tiska, our assistant principal. She can certainly put you in touch with some of the teachers or any member of the PBIS team, or I would be happy to show you the rooms. Again, there's a lot of reminders that are on the walls in those rooms with regard to social and emotional learning. So, we certainly would be happy to do that for anybody that is interested. And also, like I said, we have a marvelous fourth grade team. Any one of the four teachers, Mrs. DeFelice, Mrs. Vi, Mrs. Kane, or Mrs. Freiling would be happy to kind of explain a little bit more about what they're doing with the fourth grade teams. I appreciate everyone's time this morning, and I appreciate everything that you do on behalf of the children of the Millville Public Schools. And I think this is a wonderful opportunity for us to share some ideas, and I can't wait to see what's going on in some other buildings as well. Have a wonderful day.